Your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and be sure to watch your kids. If any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Ladies and gentlemen, your flight has been momentarily delayed. Please remain in your seat until the tower gives us clearance to continue.
How do I mute it?
You can turn all the volume all the way down on your phone. That's what I usually do.
Attention, space travelers.
I keep it on.
All flights have been put in a holding pattern. Travelers in rockets, please remain seated as your flight will continue in a moment. Those travelers awaiting departure, please remain where you are, and a host or hostess will direct you.
Can you hear us? Hi,
Howdy,
everybody.
partners. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and be sure to watch your kids. If any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Awesome.
Ladies
Excited
and
to
gentlemen,
join. Part of the show.
I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plenty drop. Go left, go right, working up my appetite. No fork, no knife, having dinner with my eyes. So sweet, so nice, have a slice of apple pie. Wanna see my mind, baby, you just join my ride. Getting ready for the weekend, popping bubbles through the ceiling. Sure, I got dough, but don't need it, cause all I want is your healing. Your healing. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to pump this place up. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it, drop. We're spinning on a loop all night. Ride his backseat while he eats my soup for lunch. Feeling dizzy, flying with Lucy in the sky. Think he likes me, but baby, I just do this for fun. Are you ready for the weekend? Popping bubbles through the ceiling. Sure, I got dough, but don't need it, cause all I want is your healing. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it, drop. Yeah, I'm the best you ever had, but you would ever understand that I don't really need a man.
You can just use them. I don't care.
I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to pump this place up. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it, drop.
Boo! Okay, so Grace, first things first. I hope you guys don't copyright strike me for that intro.
Like, nice footage, Brendan. Where'd you get that from?
I wonder where that came from.
It's all good. But
yeah.
That was nice. Hi.
This is Grace, obviously. Everyone knows. But for
Yes.
those that don't, why don't you do a little introduction?
Yeah, sure. And hello to everybody in the chat. I'm watching here on my phone So hello to everybody out there. Anyways, yes, I'm Grace. I'm the Director of Communications at the park. I've been here for about 5 years now, over 5 years now. Yeah, I know Brendan and Surya give me a lot more credit than I'm due. I will say, I'm nothing without the team at the park, all the people in all the departments who help the park be what it is. So happy to be here and excited to be part of the podcast tonight.
Yes, so we're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for doing this, Grace. This is going to be amazing.
So I guess for you guys watching, we're going to go through a list of questions that we agreed upon with Grace. And then Grace will also interact with you guys in between those questions. And yeah, it's not going to be your typical, like, we normally go live for 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
No, this is going to be like an hour max, and then it'll be a hard stop just because we got to go to bed and then go to Cedar Point.
Yeah, that's exciting. Have you guys done that before?
No,
this is something we've always wanted to do. Well, when I first learned about it, I'm like,
So amazing. Exciting. Well, if you guys see Tony Clark, make sure you say hello for me.
We will.
Definitely will.
Yeah, so how was your week?
You know what? How was my week? Did I have anything eventful happen?
You went to Chick-fil-A.
I went every day. Every day is Chick-fil-A. Oh, you know what? I didn't go. I only went for my walk once.
Once? You were just there. I saw your TikTok.
Yeah,
you went twice.
I rolled around in the snow.
You rolled around in the snow?
Yeah, I think security needs to be made aware.
Oh.
Okay.
Are you making snow angels in the parking lot, Surya? Is that what's happening?
No, I definitely am not. What about you? What did you do this week?
My mic volume's low. Yeah, that's because I'm trying to turn the mic away from the setup we have right now. If it picks up Grace, it'll cause an echo. So the mic's a little turned away from me. Is this better? If it's picking you up good, then that just means it's just because it's angled towards you. But yeah, I guess my week was
yeah, I guess
the microphone. The old podcast microphone broke yesterday night at 8 p.m. Like hard broke. So I had to run around. I bought a wire. The wire didn't fix it, so then I knew it broke. So I had to go buy this off of sketchy Facebook Marketplace as a replacement. So that was eventful.
But you know what? It turned out to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. So thank goodness.
What about you, Grace?
That's the kind of luck. I was gonna say that's the kind of luck I usually have right before I have to do like some massive media event or, the trivia night. It's like something breaks or I didn't realize I needed to learn how to do something on the computer before I did the, live Zoom with 1,000 people. So yeah, I get that. But my week was good. And I just want to say, I don't know if I'm lagging. I will apologize to everybody who's joining and explain. I'm actually at my house right now. I was supposed to be at the park. That's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm fighting the bandwidth battle here with my children who are playing video games downstairs. So hopefully this works out. But yeah, it was a good week. I know one of the questions, I think, is about what we do during the off season. And right now my team anyway, is very busy planning for events and doing, strategy work across all of our digital marketing channels. And so there's a lot of that happening. Even though there's the parks covered in snow, we're already thinking of July and August. So yeah, there's no rest for us right now.
I could imagine.
Yeah. We're also thinking about July and August.
I'm sure you are.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to start asking some questions because there is quite a bit of them. Some of them have been removed, but we'll keep on. So the first question is, with it being the off season, yet so much going on at Wonderland, what have you been up to over this extremely long feeling off season?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if this is a question about like what's happening at the park across all the departments or if it's just for the marketing team in my group that I work with, but I'll talk to all of it. I'm sure with this group, you guys are aware that lots happens during the off season, but I think among the general public, sometimes there's this misconception that it's like the park's closed. What are you doing? Like putting your feet up and, everybody's taking like 4-week vacations. That doesn't happen. many of you may have seen, we just recently wrapped up a big hiring week event. So all the departments are in busy hiring mode. We've got 4,000 seasonals that we've got to get on board. Everybody's looking to get people signed up for opening day. So that's a big piece of it. And then of course, when people get hired, then we got to do the training and orientation and across the departments, just like how marketing is doing planning right now, and strategy work for the season. All the other departments are doing the same, so like it could be little things, and our safety team is, stocking up all the first aid kits and, doing all the fire extinguisher checks and updating the fire plan. And, all the winter maintenance happens on the rides right now. So it's a lot of prep work for the season. I've seen that there's all kinds of different rides that are in the shop right now. Oh, and the Leviathan sign. So, we've got that in the shop, right? That's been since the beginning of Winterfest. I meant to send you guys a picture of this beforehand. Maybe I can just hold it up to the camera. But so Leviathan, the fiberglass team is doing a little bit of restoration and some needed TLC on Levi, but it's actually getting a bit of a color scheme update.
Oh.
There was a study done. Cedar Fair did a study on like visual identity and like, what colors go well, things to avoid, to try to create a guide for parks to use, right? So they found that where, if there's too much of a color, it's not necessarily a good thing. So Levi is actually it's going to be a bit, I don't want to say, I'm trying to find the picture now because I'm not going to be able to describe it. It's kind of like a light purple. So, and that doesn't sound good. It looks a lot better to see it. This was the concept picture. Let's see. I don't know if my camera's going to be able to show. Do you see that?
It looks like Barney.
Brendan. No, it looks great.
No, it looks, and then I have a picture of it actually in the shop, so it might be better. Let me just find that one too. But anyway, that's just like, again, one of the things that we're working on here. Can you guys see that?
Oh. Did you plan this? Did you? I was literally, I was trying to be so professional. You have no idea. I'm in my head. I'm thinking, oh, that's. I'm like, they're ruining it. They're ruining it.
I knew right away. I was trying to not laugh.
I could never say.
And
that. You ruined it.
I know. Like, Suria's heart is stopping right now. And I didn't see the stream. I'm sure a lot of people were like, "What? Purple?" Anyway, sorry, I had to do that.
I could tell everyone was being respectful too. Everyone was like, "Oh, yay!"
Did they say that? I couldn't even see. I had to close the app.
In my head, I was like, "We're gonna have to fix this."
No, some people. Yeah, Caden's getting scared. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. So we got a Surya trigger.
I'm shaking again. My blood pressure.
Anyways, all good. Still blue.
That was a good one, Grace.
Yes. Sorry about that. Anyway, what's next?
What is next? All right. Okay, this was a good one. What's it like walking through Wonderland all alone during the off season?
Dream job.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, it's just like, what it was like, because Brendan, you drove through the park that one time. Do you remember what that was? That's like was bizarre. When the first time that I had to drive through at the park when it was closed, across the cobblestone in the middle of the midways where people usually are walking. It was just the weirdest thing. Now we do it all the time, but it's kind of similar. It's just like, it's an eerie feeling, but it's very peaceful. And I'm out there occasionally in the winter because, we're trying to capture content and show everybody what it looks like in the winter with the beautiful snow. Yeah, but I don't know. It's nice. It's not that I do it all the time anyways, because it's flipping cold. But it's a nice option to have. And certainly when the weather's a little bit better, to be able to go for walks in the park. It really is a unique experience. And in the winter too, you guys saw that TikTok with all the tracks, and we must have all kinds of wildlife, like just enjoying that space right now because there's no people around. And like some of the pathways do get plowed, like the ones that are used the most. Obviously we have construction happening in the park and stuff, and a lot of associates need to get around, but there are a lot of midway areas that aren't plowed. And it is really cool just seeing all the weird tracks, raccoons, and I'm sure, I don't know if gophers are hibernating right now, but I know we have those. And swans or the geese are still here for some reason. I don't know why they don't go. So it's like, go to Florida. What are you doing? But anyway, yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And the other day, actually, well, not the other day, it was a few weeks ago, but I went out to go get some snow content, and I just wasn't happy with anything that was like ground level because the skies were gray and like everything just looks flat, and when it's everything's white and gray. And so I just decided to go up to the top of the mountain. And like that's weird too, to do by yourself. Once upon a time, I would never have done that by myself, and because I've gotten lost before, but just went up there, and that was pretty cool just to see everything blanketed in snow. And yeah, it was really neat.
That's so awesome, though, that you can just decide to go up the mountain.
I wasn't sure if the doors would be unlocked, but it was that one time. So, and it turned out to be a really great video. So, yeah,
mild flex.
That is a dream come true.
All right. Oh, this one's another good one. What's your personal favorite season at Canada's Wonderland?
That's hard. I think there are aspects to every season that I love, like opening up in the spring, just having the excitement, seeing the excitement of the guests coming back. A lot of the season's pass holders who've been waiting so patiently through the winters. It's like everybody's just in a great mood, and to get those rides running, it excites me to no end to see like a coaster like Leviathan running for the first time after a long winter. And I'm going to try to get that on film for you, Surya. But yeah, it's, and we host, like for the new rides and stuff, we'll have media events and things this year. And those are always fun to put together and to host. And just to be able to talk about the park opening up with media and getting it on TV and getting it on radio, that's exciting. The summer months are fun when the park is like in full bloom, because in the spring the trees are all bare. It's not a good time for photos or video. But like the end of June, everything's just looking really fantastic, and we have such great landscape. It's nice to see. Fall is nice because it gets cooler, and I think everybody kind of sighs a little breath of relief when we close down after Labor Day. And it's just because it's a go, right? Throughout the summer. So that's a nice break to have, and just switch the flip to Halloween is always exciting. But Winterfest, I think, is honestly my favorite time of the year, because it's just so magical, and I don't know, everything about it is just so positive, and it just, yeah, I don't know, there's nothing negative about Winterfest at all. It fills your heart, like, to walk through the park. I'll be honest though, by the time Christmas rolls around, I'm a little tired of, like, I'm not playing Christmas music at my house by that point, because you get it on the daily at the park. But yeah, it really is a magical event.
Oh, that was summed up so well.
Especially summer is very magical.
All right. What made you want to work at Canada's Wonderland?
Oh, this is a good question.
Oh, well, I got really lucky is what it was. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I actually came from journalism. So I've, most of my career was in journalism. I have done some communications and digital marketing stuff, but mostly journalism. So I've been a reporter, I've been an editor-in-chief. I worked in the Middle East for a little while as a reporter. And I was working here in Toronto, and I just said Toronto. That was wrong. Toronto. What am I? Is that not from here? That was weird. I think I had some job alert showed up in my inbox for the communications director's job. And I just stopped everything I was doing, because I was like, that's got to be an amazing job. And it was like I had come to the park when I was a kid. I, had seasons passes when I was a teenager. Now that I'm a parent, I bring my kids. And it's like, it's always been a part of my life. And to be responsible for the storytelling at the park just seemed like an amazing gig, right? So I just applied for it. Didn't think that I had a lot of hope because I had a lot of journalism experience, but not a lot of communication and marketing experience, right? And this job is part of the marketing team. Ultimately, though, I discovered a lot of the skills are transferable. Like it does all boil down to storytelling, and if that's in the written word or if it's with photos or video, the PR aspect and dealing with media. I had just come from media, so I was very familiar with this market. So I was lucky, and it worked out. So yeah, no complaints.
Honestly, you fit the role so well. There's been even the park history that you can tell there's an evident difference over the last couple years. So
yeah. Oh, I love that stuff. And I'm sorry that I'm not at the office because I did see on your last podcast, somebody asked in the comments about historical stuff. And I was planning to show you guys some things, but I don't even think I have stuff here. Sometimes I do have it at home because I brought it all home during COVID when we had to do work from home. And I brought a scanner home and I was busy digitizing things because that was... Yeah, we were approaching our 40th anniversary and I needed to get things digitized. I needed to research and pull things together, which I love doing. I love doing that. It's like detective work, piecing things together. And so occasionally I do stumble on something that's like, oh, why is this here? This is good. We've got to take this back to the park. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you definitely suit the role really well.
Thank you.
You do a good job.
Okay, so this one is so Surya and I feel like it's best if you ask this question because it's more up your alley.
Oh, which one?
This number 5.
Oh, number 5. You
Oh, Lord.
Okay, Grace. Okay. You know how much Brendan and I love food. So on the topic of food, is there anything you can share about the 2023 food menu?
Food menu. I can let you know about food in general. Well, sort of really to our events. There is going to be a shakeup with the taste festivals. So we typically have 3. There will still be 3 this year in August on the weekends. But countries are changing. But I won't tell you what they're changing to or how many, but somewhere between 1 and 3 will be changed up. So last year we had Taste of the Caribbean, Taste of Portugal, and Taste of Ireland. So we're looking at something different this year that I think everybody will really enjoy. And what else? We're looking to do some unique food and drink offerings themed to Tundra Twister. So I'll let your imaginations play with that one, what that can be on the theme of a twist. Yeah, but that's always fun when you have the ability to play with food and get creative like that, matched up to a ride. So yeah. The Best of Lazy Bear Lodge is returning. It had such a great, strong menu last year, and even it opened late in the fall, so it didn't really have a full run yet. So we're going to bring back a lot of that, which I think is positive. And yeah, I think that's about it.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
I just want to interrupt just because the moderators are... All right, guys. So Grace is definitely not going to be able to answer any questions about future rides. She's not going to break the news on a little YouTube channel. That is for the park to announce. So any questions about future rides and all that aren't going to be announced in today's stream.
What's this money from our Overlord Grace thing? What does that mean? Is that... I don't even get it.
It's like a tip.
But it's... Oh, okay. Thank you. That's funny.
Any further... Oh, can't answer that one. Outside of Tundra Twister and Snoopy's Racing Railway, is there any other new little things not announced that you can share or talk about at this time?
I don't know. Sorry, I can't remember. I don't think that I do, to be honest. I mean, besides events and entertainment being changed up a little bit, that's all going to get announced early August, by the way, our full events lineup and entertainment offerings for yeah, I have more of a finger on the pulse of what's happening there than I do about any other like construction projects in the park. So unfortunately, there's not anything else that I can offer at this time.
All right. What's I feel like I'm missing. What are some of the tactics and policies being implemented this season to help navigate the more aggressive clients and phones on rides?
Well, with the phones on rides, I think it's really a continuation of the policies that were in place and being enforced pretty strictly last year. We had a bit of an awareness campaign on social, and I know that our security and ride ops were doing a great job dealing with any offenders on rides. I mean, I know you guys certainly videoed, you know, coasters being stopped on lift hills because somebody had their phone out, and if they didn't put it away after an announcement, then you'd see a ride, somebody going up the lift hill to actually take the phone away. And we hate to have to disrupt a ride, obviously, but you know, safety's got to be paramount. So it's a continuation of that. And I think in a couple cases, people might have been escorted from the park for continual offenses. So it's a serious business, you know, very unsafe. I know it's exciting to get POVs and things, but that's something that has to be done very safely with mounted devices approved by the park. So I think it's just really a continuation of that enforcement in the park. And same goes for, like, I don't know what you mean by aggressive guests, but like line jumping and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we always encourage guests, wherever you see that happening, to notify an associate who's nearby, who can then call security and you know, address that issue with those guests. So if there's not somebody nearby, please be our ears and our eyes and help the cause.
For sure. I think some of these tips coming in are funny.
Oh, I have to it keeps closing down on me. I have to look. Oh, yeah. Hoodies. What's wrong with your hoodie strings?
It was tied up. It was like bunched like that. So I'm like, I better make it.
What's involved in the decision process for choosing what rides to add to Canada's Wonderland?
Right. Okay. So I can talk about this one, not because I'm a person that is involved in any of this, obviously, but I've talked to the people who do sit at the table, who make these kinds of decisions and have influence over that. So it's a lot of different variables. I'm sorry, this is the one about what rides get added to the park?
Yeah,
not the names.
Like the decision process behind what rides to add.
Yes. Okay. So obviously on a bigger picture scale, our parent company, Cedar Fair, has a lot of properties that they've got to take into consideration, and they look at the timing of what parks are getting what attractions, what years, and what parks need the help of a new attraction, perhaps to you know, increase attendance or bring bigger value to the pass holders that are there. So that's sort of the bigger picture things. Other things that are related to those decisions are relationships with manufacturers. RGM has spent a lot of time over his career building some really great relationships with manufacturers, like knowing the people who run these companies and, you know, being able to call them up on the phone and talk ideas and stuff, which is very impressive. So it's relationships, but it's also to looking at the real estate that's available in the park. You know, where do we have a plot of land where that can go? And depending on what space is available, how big is it going to be? You know, so those are limitations sometimes because we got to work with what we've got. But then it's, I think, also to assessing what we already have and what is it that we can bring to the park that's going to be unique, that's going to get guests excited. Is there a gap that needs to be filled? Is there, perhaps, families might need something new because we haven't had something new in Planet Snoopy or Kidsville for a while. Or, I don't know, also looking at, what is not offered in our market. We obviously wouldn't put a new ride in that already exists in Ontario. So something that we can bring in that's unique, then we would certainly put priority on that over anything else. So it's a whole host of things. And I'll say that these decisions are made many, many years out from when things actually show up or even are announced. So yeah, a lot of things go into the process.
Yeah. That's awesome. I have a giant folder I wanted to present to you. No, I'm kidding.
Of ideas to put in it.
Mock extreme spinner.
Christmas Wonderland should do that every year. Get enthusiasts to pay like $50 to submit Christmas wish lists and just burn them.
Oh, somebody said that they love my shirt. Jay Carrot. Yes. This is my stand up. So this is my, I don't know what it is. It's like a rainbow 1981 Canadas Wonderland shirt. I wore this shirt. I have like 5 of them. Okay, full disclosure. So I'm wearing them a lot. But during the 40th anniversary online trivia nights that we did, this was like my uniform for that. So I love it too. Thank you for that. Am I laggy?
No, you are.
Am I lag?
Oh yes. So how streaming works is the people on YouTube are about 15 seconds behind us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you answer their question, they'll get your answer about 15 seconds after you answered it.
Okay, cool.
Well, I just got lost. Where are we?
We were
right here, number 10. Ooh, if you could bring back any defunct ride from Wonderland's past, what would it be?
Oh boy.
That is a hard one though, because Flintstones and all that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, a ride or an air, like yeah. What? I feel like I had an answer for this one. I forgot. Oh,
Matterhorn. That was my favorite.
Oh, no, it wasn't called Matterhorn though, was it?
No, it was Baron's Curve.
Baron's Curve. Yes, that was fun. I love that one. I love log flume rides too. So Zumba Flume was really awesome. Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, Soloco or Orbiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that too. That was like, yeah, I have memories of riding that as a child, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm getting lost in the comments here.
Yeah, if you ever want to pause and answer any of them, go ahead.
What's your favorite of the 4 coasters? What is your favorite of the 4 coasters that debuted in the park in 1981? Oh, I think Dragonfire, because that was my first upside down coaster. Like, it was, when you have like coasters that are going to live in your memory book as being a milestone, and that was my big milestone, and it freaked me out. Like, it took me a long time. I don't know. I really had to work myself up to get onto some rides. But yeah, that was awesome. Not to get off topic, but Jet Scream scared the living daylights out of me. I bailed on that line. I don't know how many times before I finally got on it. Same with the Bat. And you know why? I think it's just because it's just the one train. It's like you stand in that line staring at it for so long, and you just build up this anticipation, this fear. I don't know. I couldn't get through it. So the Bat, I bailed on that one a lot when I was younger, but it ended up being amazing. I don't know why I waited so long. Anyway.
Awesome.
Number 11.
Yeah, do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Here, you read a couple.
Okay, Grace. What's your personal favorite ride at Wonderland? And why is it Leviathan? Who said that?
I was gonna ask you guys if you could take a guess what it would be.
It's Yukon.
Of course it's Yukon. And the reason being, not just because of the ride experience, but because like I'm new to this industry, right? Like before 5 years ago, I wasn't like, I'm not an enthusiast. I'm not like, I was just a general park goer. And Yukon Striker was the first ride, the first massive ride that I got to witness, like it from conception to it being open and celebrated in this world record breaking coaster. So that was really cool to see. And, we were out there many days during the winter watching the construction of it. And actually we had, I don't know if you guys were aware, but we did, the Discovery Channel came and did a documentary on it for their Building Giants series. Mm-hmm. It was to air in the US. I think it eventually did air in Canada, but if anybody can look that up and watch it, it's really cool. They make it way more sensational than any of it ever was, just so you know. But it's like that's the way documentaries work. It's like, oh no, are they ever going to fit that piece in there? It's like, yes, you are. Anyway, but I'm getting off topic. So we had the videographer and the producer for that series out like through most of the winter, and the marketing team has to escort them and sort of be with them and stuff. So for that reason too, we were out a lot watching the progress. And so it was really cool to just see how it worked and how it all got put together and all the hard work of all the trades and getting that thing up, and then being able to open it and having a great media day, and just the reception for Yukon was amazing. We had media coming from like international outlets coming to ride that thing on its first day. So that is the reason why it will always have a special place in my heart.
It's okay.
Yeah, but Leviathan's a close second.
That makes me feel
That's where it belongs.
There you go.
Oh, okie dokie.
You sound like Ned Flanders.
Let me Ned Flanders on. Okay.
No, he says yokely dokely.
Yokely dokely. Yokely dokely. What's your favorite park outside of Canada's Wonderland?
Ooh.
And then the same question, but outside of Cedar Fair. I don't know if that was worded.
Oh, because I guess you're assuming that my favorite park outside of Canadas Wonderland is going to be Cedar Fair Park. No, and to be fair, no, and I say the reason it's not is not because I don't like our parks, because that's not the case, of course, but I haven't been to many. I'm working to catch up. Because like I said, I've been with the company for more than 5 years now, but haven't had a lot of opportunity to get to the sister parks. I've been to Cedar Point, but that was when they were opening Steel Vengeance. So we went over to help with the media day. The rest of the park was closed for the media day. Got to ride Steel Vengeance a couple times, which was amazing. But yeah, so I didn't get a chance to experience Cedar Point being open. I'm often in Charlotte, where our head office is, where Carowinds is. But it's always been closed too, because our trips there are usually in the off season. Now the park is open during the off season, or during our off season, and we've got a trip coming up next week actually. So I'm hoping to get to Carowinds and get on some rides, which I told you guys about. So I'll get on Fury and Copperhead Strike and a couple others. So I'm looking forward to that. But besides that, I haven't been to any other Cedar Fair parks. I haven't been to any while they've been open, so I've got some work to do. Favorite parks otherwise, I mean, with my limited experience, I just got back from Disney, did Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then I went to SeaWorld's Discovery Cove. So not the SeaWorld amusement park, but the Discovery Cove experience with all the tropical fish and dolphins and stuff. So of those, Hollywood Studios was really great. Had a great time there. I loved Galaxy's Edge. I could have spent a day. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so that was fun for me. And Rise of the Resistance just like blew my mind.
Oh, that dark ride.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, so I guess I would have to say Hollywood Studios.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Is that a good one?
No Universal Velocicoaster? No, I'm kidding.
No, Universal I'm going to go to next time, because we didn't do it. It was just too much. There was we couldn't fit it in, and my kids, because the bigger coasters are there, I don't think that they're big enough yet to go on. So
that's a good point.
Next time.
Oakley dokley.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say
now you're doing it.
So Canada's Wonderland decided to bring Frontier Canada to life from its original.
Wait. Okay. Anything with red? Don't ask.
Does that have red on it?
No, it doesn't. I panicked for a second.
Okay.
So Canada's Wonderland decided to bring Frontier Canada to life from its original plans. Is there other areas of the park that Cedar Fair and Wonderland would like to bring back? For example, World Expo.
How is that not red?
Well, I'm not going to give away any goods or anything, but I think it's fair to say in general, yes, there's a direction to bring some theming back, and certainly it's something that you chip away at, I think, unless you have a big ride like Yukon Striker where you have an ability to build and do big theming with the station, and it's sort of, that was obviously the showpiece of Frontier Canada when we brought that part back. But yeah, I think it's fair to say, just even I know of little changes that are going to be happening this year, minor ones, that are going to sort of adjust things, just adjust a little bit to fit the theming of areas, right? So it is something that gets chipped away at.
Oh
Are we dreaming?
That's my favorite thing. I'll take that over a coaster any day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Okie dokie, Oakley dokley.
It's dead.
It's dead. I apologize. If you could bring any ride from another park to Wonderland, which one would you bring?
Oh.
That's a hard one too, because again, it's my experience is limited. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So, FURY 325.
Oh, I was thinking something from Hollywood Studios, but I mean, we're talking blue sky here, right? No, I don't. So, sorry, is it from another Cedar Fair park?
Any park.
Was that the question?
Any ride.
Yeah,
any
this
ride.
is your personal opinion. So
Yeah. Let's be clear here. Sometimes I'm speaking just as Grace and not Canada's Wonderland, and which is the case right now. So don't read any insight into this. This is just me trying to figure out of the experiences I had, what would be cool to have. I mean, obviously it would be very cool to have Rise of the Resistance right in your backyard, but yeah. But I think those interactive dark rides are really cool. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely inside mountains.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. What's the naming process for rides, attractions, and restaurants at Canada's Wonderland?
Yeah. So this is a multifaceted answer as well. It's always a collaboration of a variety of people. And obviously, if we're talking new rides, that's got, corporate involvement and, the park leadership at the table as well. But it's happened where, a broader group is brought in to sort of funnel ideas in just to get the brainstorming process happening. So I can say for Yukon Striker, I was part of the group that was able to, we just threw name suggestions to the deciding committee in the beginning for them to just get started. And, that obviously involves, understanding what the ride is going to be, obviously what in terms of its specs, and, that Yukon had a dive and the theming that we needed to understand, that Frontier Canada was coming in its theme to the gold rush of the Yukon. What is that? So it's looking into the stories and looking into the people and the places. We actually did a lot of research into what Frontier Canada was supposed to be when the park first concepted it. And also did some research into the actual historical event, and to see if we could pull some authentic themes from that, authentic names. We were looking up river names and, I don't know, individual names of the prospectors that were out there. All kinds of history was dug up, just come up with that sort of thing. On a lesser scale for some things minor food venues, for example. If I'm asked to help with some of that, one of the best websites is actually, I think it's called relatedwords.org. So if you type in something like you've got some theme like a blizzard or something, and it will output all kinds, not synonyms necessarily, but just like concepts that are kind of the same. And it's just a great site to sort of get the wheels turning further. So yeah, it's always a collaboration. I think too, you know, there's a branding consideration in terms of like what's going to fit on the logo, and what would that logo look like if we decide to go with this name. And you know, for Lazy Bear Lodge, the inspiration was a wooden sculpture of a sleeping bear, you know, so how do we, you know, come up with a name that makes sense and fits that theme, because that's going to be sort of the inspiration piece. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of things that go into it.
That makes sense. I totally thought you guys were watching serious TikToks when you came up with the name Lazy Bear.
Oh.
I'm a very
No.
active person.
I feel like we shouldn't drag Grace into our insults.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I will do this one, then you can carry on with the rest. Oh, I like this one too. Short but sweet. Does Wonderland attend IAAPA?
Oh.
Why did you have that reaction, Brendan?
Because I forgot I put that in there.
Oh, I know that Cedar Fair is certainly represented. Company leadership does attend across different departments, like the heads of foods, the heads of the ride experiences, and but I couldn't tell you personally, actually, if there are Wonderland associates that go. I'm sure that there have been times that they have, but I couldn't tell you definitively.
Awesome.
Okay.
What number?
There's a couple in the red. I was at the IAAPA one.
Oh, perfect. All right. Ignore this. Okay. We're down to our last two. This is a really intense question. If you had any budget over the next 5 years, what would your personal, again, keyword personal for everyone in here, ideas of investments look like?
Investments. Well, I think this is where I'm going to really disappoint your audience, because I'm not going to go for big coasters and flashy thrill rides and stuff. Sorry guys, you know, satisfying guests and making sure that they're having the best day is not just about, you know, getting them on the biggest coasters all the time, but it's also all the infrastructure around them, you know, and the experiences that they have in those in-between moments, you know. So there's always infrastructure improvements that you could make, but in terms of rides, and this is me talking as myself, but also as a parent. So again, this is not going to probably apply to a lot of your audience that's on here. I would love to see, I was actually kind of just fascinated by some of the old site plans that we've seen, where it showed that there was supposed to be a restaurant inside the mountain, which is really cool. And there's a massive space in there. And I mean, if we're pretending that this is like blue sky and like there's no logistical challenges and that space is available, it'd be really cool to do like a dark ride in there that's like a walk through, but an interactive experience, something that keeps people moving through constantly. And maybe the interaction is like with your phone, you're able to interact with devices or creatures that are in there. My kids, you know, had a great time when we went to Great Wolf Lodge, and they have the wands, you know, where you like flick the wands at things and then stuff happens. And they love to just sort of run on their own and discover things on their own. That sense of freedom is I don't know, it's they just thrive on that. When we were at Magic Kingdom, not to keep bringing up Disney, but I was just there. You know, I got the Genie Plus and did all the lightning lanes and stuff, but in booking our rides, they were all stacked in like the afternoon and into the evening. So we had to like fill time. So we spent the entire morning in Adventureland and Frontierland, and my kids loved the Swiss Family Treehouse, which is just an experience that you just walk through, and there's cool things happening, like the water conveyor and like the little rooms you can look at. And they thought it was just amazing. Like they're 7 and 10. Okay, so let's like put some perspective in this. And then the other thing was Tom Sawyer's Island. I don't know if you guys have ever been. You take a little raft over to this island that's got like a fortress, and it's just it's yours to explore. You can run wherever you want. I didn't even see any cast members on this island. There's tunnels to explore that are like pitch dark. Like the kids were all over the place. You could shoot cannons from the top of the cannon or from the top of the fortress. And we were there early enough that we had the place to ourselves. And again, that sense of like just being able to be free and like we just let them run and it was great. So something sort of similar where it's something for guests to explore, and like there's something maybe new every time that they come. If there's an interactive feature with it, if it's on your phones or if it's with something that you purchased at the park. I think people want to be part of a narrative, it's be part of the ride, not just a passive passenger in a ride where you just sit and experience it, but you maybe actually get to influence the narrative or something. I think that would be super cool. That was a very long answer.
No, that was good. That was a really good detailed answer.
That reminds me of Cedar Point's new thing, the Adventure Island thing. I forget what it's called.
Oh, yeah. Is it Adventure Park? Or
no. It's a storyline, and they have
ropes course and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, they have like themed characters.
Right. I'll have to try that sometime.
Okay, so I don't know if you got an update on this last question. In Reddit says, I'll see if I can get it.
I did. It's not very extensive, but ask away.
Okay. Awesome. For some of the older attractions / aging ones like this one, does Wonderland build any of the parts in-house now, especially for rides with manufacturers that are no longer around?
Yes, so I had to talk, obviously, again, I'm only a font of knowledge when I ask other people for the answers. So I had a chat with Peter Spitzer yesterday. He's our director of maintenance and construction. I asked him, and he said, yes, to a point. So we have where we need parts for things where the manufacturer is no longer around. We often get it manufactured, but it's just manufactured locally. So we will still get a company in Ontario to do that for us. Like examples being like upholstery on seats, maybe. I had some other examples that I wrote down that I don't have with me right now, but there are fewer cases though, but it does happen where we might manufacture something in-house. But in order to do that, we have an engineer who has to design those pieces, and it has to be signed off by an engineer in order for us to do that ourselves. But in the most cases, it's local manufacturers who are doing that for us.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
That's more intense than I thought.
Yeah.
They always say Wonderland's like a mini city.
It totally is. Like it continues to impress me year to year. There's the things that like I don't even. It's like I'll just be mentioning something. It's like, oh, we can totally all do that right now. It's like, really? That's incredible. We have people who do that. It's great.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's it for questions. So we have like 8 minutes, guys. Like 7 minutes to ask some questions to Grace right now. Remember, she can't answer anything about even like 2023, 2024. So
yeah, that's the thing about me being in communications and being public relations spokesperson. I have to also be the censor, so we can't talk about the future. You'll just have to stay tuned and see what happens. Yeah, and I did see a whole bunch of questions roll by, but we haven't had a chance to jump on these.
Yeah, so re-ask them if you can, guys. Oh, here they all come.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, slow down, guys.
Okay, so Mr. Excellent, you said the event announcement is in August. Did you mean April? Did I say August? Yes. So I meant at the beginning of April, a couple weeks before we open is usually when we have our announcement about all the events and the entertainment lineups for the summer. So all the dates will be there, web pages will be up. That'll be something to look out for. Oh, Jonathan asking about giving back to the community. Our charitable programs is also something that's part of my portfolio. And we've had a very long-standing relationship with Sick Kids. And so you guys would have seen last year, we used to have the charity ducks. Last year, we just started doing the wish trees. That's going to be coming back again this year, and actually probably for a longer run than we had last year. So People will be able to purchase these ribbons and write a wish on it, but we'll also have some sort of contest element, and all those proceeds are going to go to sick kids. But that's like a cause that is very near and dear to our hearts. Anywhere we can help children and families. We work with Give Kids the World and Make-A-Wish Canada, and helping kids enjoy a day at the park. So yes, I agree. Giving back to the community is very important, and we look to do that wherever we can.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
Wonderland does a lot more though than people even realize. Like they even allow training of York Regional Police and firefighters and all that on their grounds, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, occasionally. It's not very often, but yes, that's true. What else we got here? Favorite memory at the park? That had to be Yukon Strikers Media Day. Like that was just, it was a crazy day running around. You know, we had all kinds of people doing interviews. We had Sophie from B&M present. Sophie Bollinger then, yeah. That was her last name. Yeah. Anyway, she was there. It was just a lot of fun. Breakfast Television came out. Everybody's been talking about Dina retiring from Breakfast Television. She came and showed up in a chicken suit, and they did a whole skit about her being too chicken to get on. So it was a lot of fun. What else we got here? Going backwards. I love that you guys are keep reminding everybody. I can't answer questions about the future. Connor's asking if I like Yukon Striker. You must have missed the part before, but that's my favorite part.
You're rubbing salt in the wound.
No, maybe he just joined. I do love Yukon Striker. I'm scrolling backwards now.
Connor's the guy from your streams.
Oh, I like Joe Parody. I like his question.
Where?
If you could go to any other
did you find a question?
Yeah, if you could go to any other department in Cedar Fair, where would you go?
GM.
Another department at Wonderland. Like if you could work at any other department in Wonderland, what would you want to work? Where would you want to work?
You know, I'm always impressed by the work that happens in the creative services team. I don't think that I have the skills to do any of the work there, but like designing scare zones and coming up with like all kinds of cool installations. I love having creative spaces like that and being surrounded by creative people. So that must be a lot of fun to do. So I think I would really enjoy that if I had the skills to have that stuff. But yeah. What are you guys looking forward to the most at Chill Out?
You shouldn't have asked. I am like freaking out. This is something I've always wanted to do. I told Brendan I'm gonna cry when we get there. Like, Grace, we're gonna get to go inside a Mavericks launch tunnel, Millennium Forces tunnel. We're gonna get to stand inside, like in between the track. We can weave our bodies in between that old Intamin track. It's wide enough for us, Brendan. Like that's so cool in my opinion. Like that is a dream. That is like a childhood dream come true. Just to be that close to those rides, you know.
Oh.
And I'm most looking forward to that. What about you?
I'm probably just going to film your reaction the whole time. I'm just going to make funny TikToks.
And it's going to be nice to see all the work that they've done, like on their new boardwalk and stuff, like how they've opened it up, how they want to revitalize it. And because they claim that they wanted to kind of bring that back to life, because there used to be a boardwalk a long time ago, and then it just got consumed by rides. So now they want to open that area up again. So that would be kind of cool to see how they're doing that.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Oh, and the food.
Well, I feel like we've stolen enough of your time. You have a whole family.
Please. It was my pleasure. Don't worry. And the kids are not missing me. They're playing their Fortnite and Roblox, so they're fine. But have a great time at Cedar Point. That's going to be amazing. I'll be watching for that content online. And yeah, I hope my answers were somewhat interesting to your audience. I'm happy to join, and it was great seeing everybody's comments in here. So
yeah, no, it was awesome. Thank you for this.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Take care, everybody. We open up soon enough. See